All right, let's get right into it. We're about to unpack the shortest chapter in the entire Quran. We're talking just 3 verses, but wow, packed into these few lines is this incredible story of heartbreak, of a really cruel public taunt, and then a divine response that has echoed for more than 1,400 years. So you see, this isn't just about scripture. It's a deeply human story about finding strength when you're facing a devastating loss.
Just imagine hearing those words. And they're not coming from some stranger or a far-off enemy. No, this is your own uncle, and he's celebrating the death of your infant son. This was the exact taunt thrown at the Prophet Muhammad. It was like a dagger, right? A phrase perfectly designed to hit him when he was at his lowest, basically saying his entire life's work, his whole mission, would just fizzle out and die with him.
And that really gets to the heart of this whole thing, doesn't it? When you're hit with grief that deep, and on top of that mockery that cruel, what happens next? Where do you go from there? Well, this story is the answer to that very question. And it's an answer that came as a direct, personal, and incredibly powerful consolation from God.
So to really understand the gift, we first have to understand the pain. We need to go back in time, to Mecca, to a moment of just immense personal tragedy for the Prophet.
You can just picture the scene, right? It's heavy with sorrow. Inside his home, the Prophet is holding his son Abdullah, who has just passed away. The only sounds in the room are the quiet sobs of a grieving father. It's just a moment of pure, unfiltered human pain. Now this is where the story just gets gut-wrenching. Look at the contrast here. While the Prophet is inside mourning, his own uncle, Abu Lahab, is literally outside celebrating, shouting the news with joy, reportedly handing out dates to people. He doesn't see this as a family tragedy. To him, it's a political win. In his eyes, this is the end of his nephew's line, the end of his legacy.
It's right in this moment, this deep grief, piled on with this horrible mockery, that a divine revelation comes down. And it doesn't come as a lecture or a command or a warning, it comes as a gift.
And that gift is Surah al-Kausar. So Allah doesn't just send a message, He gives a gift directly to the Prophet. It's a gift specifically designed to console him, to lift him up, and to basically say, you are so important that the creator of the entire universe is consoling you personally right now.
So what exactly is this gift? Well, the key word here is al-Kausar. You'll often hear it translated as abundance, but honestly, that barely scratches the surface. Think of it more like an overwhelming, overflowing, never-ending goodness. It's not just one thing. It's everything good, and lots of it.
And this abundant goodness had so many layers. For one, it's described as a literal river in paradise, a promise of this incredible reward waiting for him. But it was also about his legacy right here on earth. It was the Quran, a message that would outlive any king or empire. It was his name, which billions would come to speak with love. It was his beloved daughters, like Fatima, who carried on his lineage. And it was his companions, this amazing community that would carry his message to the world. So you see the point, right? While his enemies saw his legacy as cut off, God showed him an abundance that could never be cut off.
Okay, so you receive a gift of this magnitude. I mean, what's the right response? How do you even begin to show your thanks? Well, the second verse of the chapter tells us exactly what to do.
فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْهَرْ. The instruction is so direct. In response to this incredible goodness, you turn all of your devotion, everything, to your Lord. You pray to Him and you sacrifice for Him. This verse completely anchors the gift in an act of pure gratitude.
And what's so brilliant here is that it covers 2 key parts of worship. Fasali, that's your prayer. It's that personal, private connection between you and God. But wanhar, the act of sacrifice, that's a public act. It's about taking your blessings and sharing them with others, especially with those in need. So gratitude isn't just some feeling you keep inside. It's something you express in your private devotion and in your public generosity.
And now we get to the final verse. This is the one that looks that original insult right in the eye and flips it completely on its head. This is the divine mic drop.
Inna shani'aka huwal abtar. The verse takes the exact word that was used to mock the Prophet, abtar, meaning cut off, and throws it right back at his hater. It's this incredibly powerful declaration. It's saying, you think he's the one with no future? No, the one who is filled with that kind of hate, he is the one who is truly, completely cut off from anything and everything good.
And the word used here, shania, is so specific. It's not just someone who dislikes you. It describes a hatred so blindingly intense that it just eats away at your reason, your logic, your basic humanity. I mean, think about it. To actually celebrate the death of a baby, that is the perfect definition of shania. It's a hatred that has made you lose what it means to be human.
And I mean, this slide really says it all, doesn't it? History has delivered the final verdict. Today, over 1 billion people say the Prophet's name with love and prayers every single day. His message is alive and well in every corner of the globe. Meanwhile, what's Abu Lahab's legacy? His name is a warning, a synonym for pointless, self-destructive hate. The man who was told he had no legacy has the most enduring legacy in human history. And his mocker is the one who is truly forgotten.
So, why does this 1400-year-old story matter to you and me right here, right now? Well, because its lessons are totally timeless. They speak directly to our own lives.
At its heart, this is a powerful takedown of small-minded thinking. It completely shuts down that ignorant old idea that a person's worth or legacy is only tied to having sons. And it's a huge warning against finding joy in other people's pain. When we mock someone who's down, when we celebrate their misfortune, we are walking down the exact same path Abu Lahab did.
The message of Surah al-Kausar is also an invitation for all of us to look around and recognize the abundant goodness in our own lives. What's our Kausar? It's our health when so many others are sick. It's our family when others are all alone. It's having a roof over our head, food to eat, even just a quiet moment of free time. These are the incredible gifts of abundance that we so often forget about when we're focused on what we think we've lost.
And that brings us to this final thought. The story of al-Kausar is the ultimate lesson in perspective. It teaches us that even in our absolute worst moments, in our deepest pain and loss, we are still surrounded by an abundance of goodness if we just choose to see it. So the next time you feel like you've lost something you can't replace, just ask yourself this: what is the Kausar that's still right here in front of me?